Canelo Alvarez has announced that he's going to be fighting Jaime Munguia on Cinco de Mayo, or basically for his Cinco de Mayo fight on May 4th. Now, Canelo is basically the king of Mexico. People would say that he is one of the faces or the face of boxing. And there was a lot of talk about who he is going to be fighting in 2024. Now, back when Terence Crawford did his fight against Errol Spence and won it so decisively, people said that Terence Crawford versus Canelo should be a fight to make, or that would be the biggest fight in boxing. To me, I thought that would be a difficult fight, or a difficult fight to make. Now, Crawford is super skilled. He is one, or, you could say that he's the best boxer in the world, if not one of the best, but he would be hopping up like 2 weight classes. When he fought Spence, they fought at 140, and Canelo has been fighting in the 160 range. So that's 20 pounds. You're like, I don't know if that would be a smart move for Terence Crawford, or if that would be a winnable fight with having to add 20 pounds or fighting up 20 pounds. Now, after some discussion or some talk of the Crawford versus Alverez fight, it really went dead and it wasn't made to happen. But there is another person who at least seems to be the perfect match for Canelo, and that is David Benavidez. He is also Mexican. He is the Mexican monster, and he truly, truly is a monster when he gets into that boxing ring. This is one of those fights that people really claim that they want to see, or at least on paper makes sense. Now, they fight in similar weight classes, or right around that 160 to 168 range. On Canelo's record, he has 2 losses. Now, he lost to Floyd, which was one of the greatest modern boxers of all time. Everyone who went against Floyd lost, and he lost to Floyd, but he also lost to a guy by the name of Dimitri Bivol, and he did that. And one of the biggest factors on why Canelo lost that fight is because Bivol was a taller, bigger, more rangy fighter. Bivol typically fights around, I think they were fighting at 175, and that's the weight class that Bivol typically fights in, and that just gave Canelo a lot of problems. Now, David Benavidez and Dimitri Bivol, at least in my opinion, have similar frames. We typically wonder, how the heck is David Benavidez making the weight? He balloons up out of camp, and he is a really, really big dude. So that may be one of the factors why this fight was denied. Because I don't know the terms of this Jaime Munguia and Canelo fight, but the terms of the David Benavidez and Canelo fight seem to be good in the favor of Canelo. Because they said, now I don't have the full facts. I wasn't there. I didn't read these papers, but they said that the money split was going to be 92% to Canelo and 8% to David Benavidez. And they said that roughly they estimated that it was going to be about $60 million was going to go to Canelo, and about $5 million was going to go to David Benavidez. And Benavidez was down for that. He wanted that. Now, I don't know if he just thought that fighting Canelo was going to be like a platform boost, that, he would recruit the money in other ways by becoming a bigger star, or if he just truly believes, and this is the one I'm leaning more towards, is that he truly believes that he would beat up Canelo, because that split is crazy. And that's not a typical thing that boxers like, world champion boxers and a boxer like David Benavidez would go to, because he is a world champion as well. But regardless, Canelo did not accept the 92-8% split, and he decided to go with Jaime Munguia. Now, Jaime Munguia, he ain't no fool. He ain't no B either. He is 43-0 with 34 KOs or TKOs. Now, that is an amazing stat line. We can all say, well, who did he fight? Is he fighting good competition? And he's fighting the same competition as everybody else. He is picking and choosing early on, and then as he goes, he's fighting real competition. And to have 43 wins and 0 losses, that shows that you are a real professional and a real boxer. Now, with Canelo finding an opponent, that means Terence Crawford and David Benavidez need to find some opponents for the 2024 year. And it's looking like Terence Crawford has found an opponent, because they've been posting on Twitter, on Instagram, everywhere, that Terence Crawford is going to be fighting Chris Eubanks Jr. at like 160 or 160 pounds, basically. That's what it's looking like. That's what they are saying. To me, this is a super surprising fight, and I don't know how this one is going to go, because Terence Crawford, again, he would be going up 20 pounds to fight Chris Eubanks Jr. Chris Eubanks has 33 wins and 3 losses. He's a little shaky, man. He is a little shaky. He comes from Manchester. He's coming out of England. And in his last 2 fights, he went 1-1. First, he took a bad loss to this guy, Liam Smith. If you aren't familiar, Liam Smith is a good boxer, but he looking like he has some grace. He kind of looks like an old man. He doesn't look as devastating as he is. And then from there, after taking that loss to Liam Smith, he went back and beat Smith by a TKO. So basically, he got his lick back. And I don't know if Smith is as good as a boxer as Terence Crawford. So this could show to be not the best choice for Chris Eubanks Jr., but we'll have to wait and see. And as for David Benavidez, he does not have an opponent quite yet for 2024, but I'm sure he will call somebody out. I'm sure that he will get an opponent, and I'm pretty sure whoever that opponent is, he is going to get a win over that opponent.